bonus, we're going to actually start hooking Moxie up to some of these items. Items being the key word, because the last one, of course, is the cart. But we're going to start with a sled. Thanks, Moxie. So when we talk about hooking them up to a cart, I think this is a thing where people can go too fast and their dogs can get spooked or worried or something. So when you're doing this, we're going to have help from the pro. Down, Missy. Inky down. When you're doing this, you really can't go too slowly. I know it's in our nature to want to hurry or to think that they've got it, but remember in the last challenge we talked about building confidence. This is one of those moments where they've got to be super confident. Thank you. They've got to be super confident with what they're doing and what's attached to them in order for them to be able to perform at their best. Otherwise, they're always going to be distracted, if, you know, by nothing else, but by the cart itself, right? And you don't want that to be part of the distraction. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to use a sled. A lot of people use sleds. This is going to be a great time of year for you to buy like a $7 sled. It's got rope attached to it and traces attached to it. Sometimes I like the rope to be a little longer. This just happens to be the one that's kind of in our barn right now. And the point is you don't really want the dog super close to the object. Moxie, here. Of course, she's going to try to, yeah, we're going to shape everything. Moxie, here. And I'm just going to get her to stand. And I'm going to hook up the traces, just like always. The great thing about the sled, obviously, is you can see how low these things are. So if she twists, if she flips, if she freaks out, she's going to be fine, right? It's light. You can add some weight to it. It helps if you have a dog who you think is sound sensitive, have them rake this over gravel and over different surfaces, because the sounds are all going to be different and they're going to be used to sound happening behind them, all in kind of a safe moment. So, Moxie, here. So she's getting used to pulling it. It's making a little bit of a sound. Good girl. Here. Moxie, here. She's being very sensible about it, luckily. Sit. And sit. And again, I'm asking her to do all of the things I would ask for normally, right? Just with this little sled. She doesn't care. There aren't any shafts. You can see at the end she sat crooked, right? So I'm going to take this off our sled and I'm going to move it into a set of training wheels. So if you don't have a set of training wheels, not to worry. But if you do have access or can borrow a set of training wheels, I highly recommend it, just because they're lighter, and if they're gonna flip the cart, it's not as disastrous or as big of a deal, okay? Indy, I know you know how to do this. Moxie, here. So we're gonna do our step in. Girl. Perfect. Stand, please. Stand. Good. And I'm going to hook her up with the traces. And I'm going to show you a couple things while I do that. So by this point, and when we're working on our step in from the first week, I like to be able to, excuse you. Let me see. Come here. Come here. No, come here. Come here. Good. Good girl. Come here. Good. The first week, you can see I didn't put the shafts in yet. Okay, I did that on purpose because I want her to be able to feel this stuff and see if she has any reaction. Okay, so before you get too carried away with like hooking everything up perfectly, or maybe even dropping the traces, right, and just hooking up the front of it, putting the front through the loops. Fumbly here, right? Again, this harness does not fit her very well. Don't really care. You know, making sure she's fine with it hitting, feeding her in the cart, right? All of this stuff, nice and slow, okay? Don't rush. I am going to go ahead and hook her up. Moxie, stand. And we're going to see if she can do a little lap with this. Moxie, come. Good girl. Watch the turns. Take a long time with your turns. See? She doesn't like it. Isn't that great? Thank you for being a good demo dog. So, she's telling me I need to go slower with the turns. Good girl. And if she gets worried, I'm going to stop her. Oh, good. Back up. Good girl. I'm going to stop her. I'm going to take her out. And I'm going to release her, because that's enough, right? For this dog on this day in this moment, right? Good girl. Okay, and that's it. That's the introduction. To me, that was successful. I'm not worried about her being able to pull it and do great turns and all that kind of stuff. I want to have little interactions like this, and that's all she's going to do today. I'm going to leave that, let the latent learning sink in, and I'll come back to it another day. Thanks. Good luck.